Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, I hate to break it to you, ladies, but there's something crazy going on in the air, right? I think this is something more of a crazy thing that you we're gonna have to start realizing and talking about. And I would like to have the actually, I haven't checked my female audience, but I'm pretty sure it's still decently high considering. I would have to ask you of what you think of this because this is kind of insane to where apparently Gen Z women or what have you thinks that having a boyfriend is embarrassing somehow, which I don't see how that is a remotely a thing. This is going to be more of a men's world type deal, so if you don't like this and just tune out, obviously. But I think this is something we should have a discussion here because there's a lot of things I think that you women are being actually lied to here. So without further ado, let's get directly into it. So we have this from Vogue, essentially saying here is having a boyfriend embarrassing now by Chante Joseph, and this is the person here. It is a black woman that is obviously does not look very attractive in the slightest, and seems to have a boyfriend problem. So yeah. But we're going to read through this and we're going to talk about it. And we're also going to, I would like to have comments down below. Majority from, I know men, you're not like removed from talking about this, but I really want to get the women's idea, the prospect here, because this is insane. So if it says here that is having a boyfriend embarrassing now, if someone so much as says my boyfriend on social media, they're muted. I don't know where that's coming from because I haven't heard that before. But there's nothing I hate more than following someone who for fun. Only further content become my boyfriend. I feed suddenly. This is probably because for so long it felt like we were living in what one of my favorite subsectors calls boyfriend land, a world where women's online identities centered around the lives of their parents, a situation rarely seen reversed. Women were rewarded for their ability to find and keep a man, which they kind of still are in a lot of cases, with elevated social status and praise. Um, sure. I guess that you could probably put that. You're probably thinking about more of the closer to the 1950s and what have you, where our culture was a lot better than it was, and it usually is a sign for praise because you are building a family, you're building a future for your generation for essentially your ball line to continue. It became even more suffocating when this could be leveraged on social media for engagement and, if you were serious enough, financial gain. However, more recently, there's been a pronounced shift in the way people showcase their relationships online. Far from fully hard launching romantic partners, straight women are opting for subtler signs: a hand on steering wheel, clinking glasses at dinner, or the back of someone's hand. On the more confusing end, you have faces blurred out of wedding pictures or entire professionally edited videos with a fiance conveniently cropped out of all short shots. Women are scaring their partner's face when they post as if they want to erase the fact they exist without actually not posting them, which is crazy because I am not seeing this as a consistent thing. What I'll probably do is that I actually want to go out and make a video of this and see what actual women think of this because this is kind of the same behavior. This is the same behavior that I cannot seem to understand at all because it makes no sense. So what gives? Are people embarrassed by their boyfriends now, or is something more complicated going on? To me, it feels like the result of women wanting to straddle two worlds, one where they can receive the social benefits of having a partner, but also not appear so boyfriend obsessed that they come across as quietly culturally loserish. They want the prize of celebration of partnership, but understand the norminess of it, says Zoe Samduzi, writer and activist. In other words, in an era of widespread heterofatism, women don't want to be seen as being all about their man, but they also want the clout that comes with being partnered. So it says it's not all about image. When did I call out and on Instagram? Plenty of women told me that they were in fact superstitious. Some feared the evil eye, a belief that their happy relationships would spark a jealousy so strong in other people that would end the relationship. Others were concerned about their relationship ending and then being stuck with posts. I was in a relationship for 12 years and never once posted to him or talked about him online. We broke up recently and I don't think I will ever post a man, says Nikki 38. Even though I am a romantic, I still feel like men will embarrass you even 12 years in, so claiming them feels so lame. Well, here's the thing here. That's not really the case. Men won't blame you for necessarily having a relationship. However, we also criticize on how you can be 38, be in a relationship, and somehow it falls through. And then what that pertains is what you go out and say online. So if you end up having a relationship, but then you can start hating on men or et cetera, and you end up finding out, well, then we end up finding out that like what caused that relationship to fail. Because a lot of the cases here is that we'll have where women will be the sole cause of the relationship, but relationship failing, but they don't take accountability for it. It's really not that difficult to kind of understand here, really. So when we call out on your stupidity here, yeah, we'll call out on your stupidity. But I don't think it's like bad for women being in a relationship if you're 38. I mean, if you're 38 in a relationship, that's actually a good thing. We want to know like the thing is like what happened between within those 20 years. What made you want to leave that relationship? And it's more along the lines of like you don't. I think it's more along the lines of like you guys don't want to be dragged for getting out of a relationship and then posting your L is pretty much on a line of what causes or blaming the man or coming up with excuses onto what that is. And then it becomes harder for you to actually find a female partner a male partner because you are up in age. It is true that I hate to break it to you, ladies. The older that you get, the harder it is for you to find an actual male partner. It is not that difficult to understand. This is just the reality. But there was an overwhelming sense from single and partner women alike that regardless of the relationship, being with a man was almost a guilty thing to do. On the Delusional Diaries podcast, fronted by two New York-based influencers, Haley and Jazz, they discuss whether having a boyfriend is lame now. Why does having a boyfriend feel Republican? Read a top comment. Boyfriends are out of style. They won't come back in until they start acting right. Read another with thousands of likes. In essence, having a boyfriend typically takes a hit on a woman's aura, as one commentator claimed. Funnily enough, both of these hosts have partners, which is something I often see online. Even partnered women will lament men and heterosexuality, partly in solidarity with other women, but also because it was now fundamentally uncool to be a boyfriend or a girl. Now, here's a problem that I have with this, right? Ladies, I really want to understand here that this is this insanity here, right? Do you have to hate your own sex that much to bring them down and make them become miserable? Because that's the only interpretation that I'm taking from this. Like, you're taking your own sex or gender and bringing them down. Like, because you feel miserable, you want your other friends or your other sex to feel miserable just as bad as you, so that way you can have the higher up, so that way they can be miserable. They don't find happiness. This is the only other way that I could possibly ever think of this. All right, like the insanity is here, and this is what we found here. We're not going to play the full thing, but we're going to show you exactly what they're talking about here. Good for him. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Just think her toxic friends effed up her marriage. Way to go.
28 female, made a joke with my husband, 29 male, and it's costing me my marriage with a man I truly love.
Oh my gosh! The titles of these things are so dramatic.
They're intense.
Wow.
It goes on to say, I need help fixing it.
Okay, we're here to help.
My husband and I have been married for 4 years now. I truly do love him with everything I have. I can't see a life without him. I took some stupid advice from some of my girlfriends regarding a joke that they have done with their husbands or boyfriend. The joke is basically telling your partner that you want to break up or that you want a divorce.
Okay.
Yeah, ladies, don't do that. It's not a joke. It's not funny, and I'm not even gonna push men to do this either. It's not a funny thing. It's not a joke. It's not hilarious. Nobody finds this funny. Divorce can absolutely ruin a man. And the whole thing of why I'm against this whole marriage thing, especially in the modern day, is because it's bad for both parties involved. If you get divorced, you have to pretty much start back at ground zero. You start at ground zero. You go back into maybe living in an apartment. Somebody has to share. Like, it's inherently not fair. Us, including with if your name is not on the house, you're effed. You're homeless again, or you have to go find an apartment. It's wild behavior. So why even engage in a governmental marriage? It makes no sense. You're just helping the government get money from you and separate families. There's no actual benefit. So I think both parties shouldn't get married. But at the end of the day, beside that, I don't think that this is just insane behavior. Do not do this. So you have females ruining other females' relationships again for some god apparent reason because you find that's funny, and now that this thing is going completely awry because you did something stupid. This is a reason why women should just not have girlfriends at all, what have you. It seems more likely that they will sabotage your relationship and your marriage than actually help it. All right, this is wild behavior.
Whoa. Okay. First of all, these friends are terrible.
Well, I never wanted to do it and thought it was cruel to do, especially to someone you love. But I was convinced after they kept pestering me about it, as I was the only one that hasn't done it yet out of the 5 of us. They further convinced me about it when they told me the reactions their partner had afterwards. Stupidly, I did it last week, and my husband's reaction wasn't what I thought it would be.
Of course it wouldn't be. Of course it wouldn't be. What do you expect is going to happen? So happy daisies and him laugh? No. Imagine going to your wife, right? Imagine going to your wife and jokingly say, "Hey, babe, I want to go get a divorce." Or like, or I want to break up. What do you think that's going to do to her? You think she's going to react kindly? I am more than certain that she's going to cry and be asking why this is. Because again, at the same time, on both sides, you have the man to where he's going to feel like he's worthless. He's going to feel like he effed up somewhere. And then you have the women that's going to feel the same way, where like she effed up somewhere. What did I do to cause this? Let me try to fix this. Now, granted, this is not every case scenario, but it's a messed up thing to do. So again, this is the wild behavior of it all. And again, ladies, let's go with this, all right? So if we go with this here on how you guys are doing in terms of happiness. So again, we're going to show this here where in a 2025 study by the Wheatley Institute and IFS, 19% of married mothers reported being very happy compared to 11% of married women without children. And the aggregated GSS data from 2018 to 2022 shows that among married adults, those with children have an 11% point higher rate of being very happy than married childless adults. Breakdown: married partners at 37% very happy overall, with the child advantage noted separately. So this whole article here is trying to make women be absolutely miserable. Not only that, ladies, you guys are drinking way more than the average. So again, in recent data, or well, let's go with this. By the 1980s, about 58% of women reported drinking, compared to 73% of men, 27% abstaining. Giving higher overall abstinence in the 1950s, 4 to 5%, women's drinking rates were likely lower than estimated around 40 to 50% based on the gender gap. Now, let's jump to 2021 to 2024. That's not even counting the 2025 statistics. Shows 61% to 65% of women aged 18 plus reporting past year drinking higher than historical estimates for the 1950s. However, a 2025 Gallup update notes a recent dip to 51% for women, still likely above the 1950s levels. So this is not good. Like, you ladies are doing bad, both mentally and in drinking wise. And even if we go here, it says recent studies show that married mothers tend to report being happier and having a stronger sense of purpose than women who are single or childless. So this whole article here, ladies, is completely ruining you. I don't know what's going on here in your circle or what's going on with these women, but do not listen to this vapid, disgusting, childless woman here. Because she's trying to destroy you. She's trying to make your lives worse. That's what this woman is doing here. And it's crazy. If ladies are really doing this, it's wild. This is the reason why I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to go out and do a video of this. Because this is absolutely wild behavior. Because I need to ask exactly on how you ladies feel about this, or what the actual general populace thinks. Because this is kind of crazy. Like, is this something that is really going on with you ladies? Because this is wild. And it says here from my conversations, one thing is certain, the script is shifting. Being partnered doesn't affirm your womanhood anymore. It is no longer considered an achievement. And if anything, it's become more of a flex to pronounce yourself single. As straight women, we're confronting something that every sexuality has to contend with, a polarization of our identity. Heterosexuality has been purposely indefinable, so it is harder for those within it and outside of it to critique. However, our traditional roles begin to crumble. Maybe when we were being forced to reevaluate our build or our blind allegiance to heterosexuality. Are you saying that you're trying to become like gay or something? Because again, women that are gay or the lesbian couples have a very high a divorce rate and a very high domestic abuse. So I don't know what we're doing here, but that doesn't sound like it's a good idea either. Ladies, do not listen to this insane babble, all right? Do not let these people try to confuse you and be like, oh, I'm going to be happier being having a boyfriend. No, it's not embarrassing. We just think you as normal people, as a normal couple. In fact, I'm hoping that your relationship lasts a long time so you can continue to be happy for the rest of your life. You not having a boyfriend, you not having a kid is detrimental to your mental health. It's detrimental to everything else. So for the love of God, for the love of God, don't listen to this crazy person, all right? Because obviously she's trying to ruin you. So guys, ladies, put your comments down below. I would love to find out what you actually think. I'm probably going to do a video of this later on because I'm very curious of what the general population of women think. And this is crazy behavior. This is absolutely crazy behavior. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.